Morning, Hopkins Community Church. Over the next 6 weeks, we're going to bring you a series of videos that explain and talk through the leadership structure transition that we have been going through over the past 6 or 7 months. You may remember that we started this a while back, but we wanted to give you a kind of a full understanding and view of what is actually going on and what that means for us as a church. And so we're going to begin today by just giving you a brief overview and history of uh, of the work that's been done by the consistory. So I want to share this with you, and hopefully it will be as brief as possible. Just a bit of history. I won't read this all to you, but just as a reminder, we left the RCA. We voted to do this back in late 2021. It was official, and sort of mid 2022, we joined the Alliance of Reformed Churches, and in that process, as we left the RCA and sort of shed the structure that they sort of tell us we have to have, we began thinking about what could this look like if we were to maybe streamline and make it more of a gifts-based model where people are serving in the ways that they feel gifted and passionate about, and then not having to do other things as well. So you can see we left the RCA in May of 2022. The consistory has been working on this since then, and we approved a couple of drafts and brought it to the congregation in November of 2022, and the congregation unanimously approved this leadership restructure proposal, which included bylaws and a whole new structure and all that. And we've been working on living into that over the last several months. And so the current model, if you look at this really quickly, the current model is that we have elders, we have deacons, we have pastors. Each are responsible for sort of their own stuff. So elders are responsible for elder things and so on and so forth. But all the elders, the deacons, and the pastors are also part of the consistory and responsible for the consistory stuff. And the consistory is really responsible for the top level leadership and governance of the church, the business decisions and all of that. And so if you're an elder and you're really good at being a care elder, caring for people and stuff like that, you're also on consistory, whether you like it or not. That's the current model. The proposed change, you can kind of see this here, is that the consistory, sort of the top level governance and big picture stuff, business stuff, is going to transition into a board of directors, and they're going to be responsible for that sort of thing. The board of directors, we'll talk more about who they are, what they are, how they get there, and so on and so forth next week. The elders, the two particular ways that elders are kind of called to service through care and through spiritual oversight. Both are sort of spiritual in nature. And so we wanted to break those up. People that are feeling really gifted in sort of spiritual oversight, theological thinking, and stuff like that are oversight elders. People that would fall more in the care side of things, like to like to make calls to people, like to go visit people, like to like to write cards, whatever, would fit more into the care elders. And the same with the deacons. There's a financial component. Deacons are responsible for physical care, and there's a financial component to that. There's also a people component to that. And so dividing those things up as well. And then pastors are sort of have their own function as well. And we wanted to make sure that we were very clear on what pastors are called to do and what that means for the structure of Hopkins Community Church and how pastors fit into that structure as well. So this is sort of a basic overview, really quickly. The board of directors sits kind of at the top. They're the final governance of the church, and they're responsible for accountability, right? Making sure that the oversight elders and the care elders, the finance deacons, the care deacons, and the pastors are all doing their work, doing the call or following the call that God has placed on their lives, and doing the work of ministry that they are called to. And so you have sort of 5 groups: oversight elders, care elders, finance deacons, care deacons, and then pastors, all sort of sitting here. And then you have ministry teams and volunteers. Not that this is like a hierarchy, but that the pastor is going to be heavily responsible for the equipping of the ministry teams, ministry leaders, and volunteers, and also equipping elders and deacons for their ministries as well, all being accountable to the board of directors. So that is a really, really brief overview. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to talk about what is the board of directors, what are their specific responsibilities, who are they right now, and how are we going to fill that role. And same with the elders, the two elder teams, the two deacon teams, and the pastors as well. Well, we're going to talk through specific responsibilities and all that stuff. The goal being to inform you in the way that we're thinking about and living into a new leadership structure that we pray is going to streamline leadership. It's going to make meetings sort of hopefully more a thing of the past and not something that everybody has to do, whether you like it or not. But that in the sort of streamlining of leadership that we're hoping to do, it frees people up to live into their giftings, to use what God has given them to do ministry here at Hopkins Community Church. And in so doing, we pray that ministry becomes more fun and enjoyable, but also that we see just a more ability to see God's kingdom expand. And so that's the very brief overview. More to come in the next couple of weeks. If you have any questions, come talk to me. In the next couple of weeks, we'll lay out who else you can come and talk to as well. We look forward to laying this out for you and talking more about it. Thanks. Have a great day.